International of Evansville, Indiana. I'd like to welcome you to our dedication ceremony for the Trail with a Tail, Altrusa's Trail with a Tail. Traditionally, we open our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. And so, if everyone would please stand and join us for the Pledge.
In Indiana, and it seems that I can see the leading candlelight still shining bright through the sycamores for me. The new moon hay sends all its fragrance through the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the wabash, then I long for my Indiana home.
We have some special guests that I would like to introduce. We are fortunate to have Mayor Lloyd Winnicke present. We also have Brian Holt, who is the director of the Evansville Department of Parks. Cindy Sturgis Landrum, who is the executive director of the Vandenberg Public Library. And then we have Mark Browning in the back, who is videoing. He is with Browning Genealogy. Mary Alice Bertram will give us a brief update on Altrusa International of Evansville and some of their projects.
Some of you are probably wondering what Altrusa is. And it is the first four letters of altruistic, and then the letters USA. And Altrusa was founded in Nashville, Tennessee in 1917 during World War I. And we always hear about Rosie the Riveter, World War II. But not nearly so much has ever been published about the women who went back to work during World War I. And they had no professional organization whatsoever. And a very enterprising man in Nashville, Tennessee, noticed this, and so he had this wonderful idea that he would start this organization for women and charge them for joining. And he had a pretty good thing going until a woman from Indianapolis, whose name was Mamie L. Bass, got a hold of things, and pretty soon he was gone. And she was the president of Altrusa, and the headquarters was moved from Nashville to Indianapolis. And since this 2017 is right on the horizon, it will be the 100th anniversary of Altrusa, and of the International Convention that year will be in Nashville. Altrusa is an international organization. The first crossing of the borders was into Mexico, and there are Altrusa, and they are called clubs rather than a kind of other name. There's a very active club, or more than one really, in New Zealand, and Sue Huck went to an international convention there. I went to one in Puerto Rico, and they have had their international meetings in England, Ireland, Scotland, and so on. What has been really significant for us, for our group here in Evansville, which we're going to be 50 years old, by the way, was when literacy was adapted as the major thrust of Altrusa. And even though we do a lot of other things, we still go back to literacy. And of course you can see the books there on the table. We were organized here in 1970, And we still have one of our charter members who is still active, and that's Ruth Hadley. We have two other charter members who have emeritus status now, and they're Mary Rose Pierre and Betty Engelbert. And we just have recently had a third one added to that, and that's Betty Griffiths, who is emeriti, but not a charter member. We have made many, many contributions to the city of Evansville, and everything has not been in regard to literacy. In its early years, Altrusa was very much cutting edge and a little bit ahead of a lot of things that society was thinking about. They started diabetes testing here, deaf and hearing, and worked with the blind. They bought hot rocks for the zoo for the animals to keep warm. And and I just learned this today, that they put in the front doors of the YWCA. A few years ago, we started Construction, which gathered $55,000 worth of food from the community for the Tri-State Food Bank. And the community things we have going on right now are, we give birthday gifts to Meals on Wheels recipients. We have two endowed there are $10,000 endowed scholarships, one at the University of Evansville and one at USI. We participate in Make a Difference Day. We have a project where we give duffel bags and luggage to women and children who are in shelters, and particularly to teenagers if they are in situations such as the Methodist Youth Home and some other areas that do have foster children. We give to the Tri-State Food Bank's Backpack program. We have another project where we do cuddle bags for children, very young children who are in shelters. If their mom comes in the middle of the night, we have a bag for the very young children, and the bag contains books, a blanket, a pillow, and a flashlight. We've been told that the children, if they're frightened, do not like the bright lights. And they love it. I've never known a kid who doesn't love a flashlight. And we have no food items in those because of allergies and the length of time that the bags might be in storage. One of our newest projects just made the news this week, and that's the Pirouette project at Case Elementary School with the young dancers who participated in the Nutcracker at Harrison High School this week. We have given over 100,000 books to children in daycares. We have in the summertime a story hour at the zoo. We have established multicultural libraries at Kay's Lodge and Lincoln Schools. And we've given over $3,000 recently to Books for a Better World, which have been shipping books to Guatemala. Are you tired yet? Those are the current things that we have going on right now with Altrusa. And we only have 23 active members, so we've been keeping busy. Thank you.
I want to introduce our chair of the Altrusa Trail with a Tail, Susan Huck.
Thank you. Again, I wish to thank all of you for coming today to share with us as we present our Trail with a Tail to the city of Evansville. Without knowing it, this project began many years ago as we successfully profited from selling our nuts to the community. Besides continuing to do smaller community projects, some of which you've heard about, we were able to squirrel, no pun intended, away some of our money to do something for the 200th birthday of Indiana. We Altrusans like to designate special dates and our events to do something big, and what better than the Indiana birthday. We didn't decide on a project until Christy Hari told us about the Oakland City Library Story Walk dedicated to her mother, and bingo, there it was. A wonderful fit for Altrusa. We are internationally dedicated to literacy, as you've just heard. We began investigating online the storybook walks and discovered that they're popping up all over the country. Today is the culmination of our work to bring A Trail with a Tale to fruition. But it's also the beginning of the opportunity for grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, and friends to join in a walk with young children in their circles while reading a story. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a team to bring an idea full circle. We had that team, and I want to thank the Altrusans who diligently brought this trail together. And as I say your name, please stand and remain standing. Mary Alice Bertram, Rosie Biggie, Merle Choate, Christy Hari, Donna Hodge, Jan Howell, Judy Jensen, Karen McBride, Hope Rold, Jackie Schwartz, Margaret Stofflet, Nita Voorhees, and last but not least, Eileen Will. Everyone worked diligently to get this done by paying bills, finding our rock, and deciding on what books we would use on the trail. This made my job simple. All I had to do was call the meetings. I also want to thank Lola Perquette, our photographer, Lola wave back here, because she did some excellent pictures for us. Please give this group of Altrusans and Lola a hand. There are two other people who served on our committee as co-sponsors, and we could not build this storybook walk without the help of Cindy Sturgis Landrum, the executive director of the Evansville Vanderburg Libraries, and Brian Holtz, the director of the Evansville Parks Department. I asked each of them to say a few words about what this Trail with a Tale means from their point of view. Let's begin with Cindy, who eagerly got our librarians involved. They helped us find the books, they helped us buy the books, and they helped us laminate the books. So Cindy?
Thank you, Susan, and I'd like to thank all the members of Altrusa for inviting the library to this very important project. I think we all can agree that literacy of all types is very important for adults and children alike. But beyond the mechanics of reading and comprehension, exposure to literature opens us up to new ideas and new worlds. It exposes us to all kinds of interesting thoughts and people, and it builds empathy and understanding, and it sparks creativity and ingenuity and innovation. And these are all the building blocks for the community capital that we need for a vibrant, productive, and sustainable Evansville. So the Evansville Vanderburg Public Library is very pleased to lend its time and its talents and its treasure to this work. And we are happy to work with Altrusa and with Brian from the Parks Department. And I know we all look forward to the joy that the Trail with a Tale will bring now and well into the future.
Thank you, Cindy. I hope everyone everyone saw the article in Evansville Living about Brian Holtz a month ago. It was a great article, and that told his story about how he became the parks director and his life's journey. We could not have had a better partner than Brian for helping us to find just the right place and for installing the displays on the Storybook Walk. Finding the right park was the most difficult part of our project. Who knew? Some parks were inaccessible. Some had too much traffic. Potential for vandalism was in other parks. And most of all, we needed a safe place for little ones and their adult chaperones to walk, read a story, and enjoy the outdoors. So Brian, now I will turn the floor over to you.
Thank you very much, and again, thank you to Altrusa and to the public library for this project. I think whenever I was first approached almost a year ago, one of the things that always strikes me as key is this community involvement. And another opportunity to have that take place is when this idea came forward. And I must say there was a lot of persistent on the part of Altrusa, and I appreciate that, because without their energy and support, that wouldn't have happened. And as we got towards the end of this project, I would receive numerous phone calls, and everyone must have rehearsed from Altrusa, because they always said the same thing: I hate to bother you again. And I would always say the same thing back: it's not a bother. So I think this is just another way for not only the Parks and Recreation Department, but the City of Evansville, and I know the mayor is here this afternoon, and our whole idea and go is that community-city partnership. And I think this shows, again, for first and foremost, how that partnership takes place and what can be accomplished when we search out those ways to have that happen. You know, the Parks Department has plenty of parks, and our main goal, our main purpose as a department is to get people out to enjoy those parks, those areas that we have. And whatever we can do to make that happen, that's our responsibility. And again, this project, A Trail with a Tail, to be able to accomplish that again is just another step forward in providing another opportunity for those who come in contact not only with Altrusa, but also with the Parks and Recreation Department along with the library. So again, thank you to the committee and to everyone who helped with the project.
Now it's time for me to turn the podium back to Donna to make the presentation to the City of Evansville.
Mayor Lloyd, Liddicky. Sorry. That's your first name. Okay, just a moment. In honor of the Indiana Bicentennial, Altrusa International of Evansville, in partnership with the Evansville Vandenberg Public Library and the City of Evansville Parks and Recreation Department, is proud to present the City of Evansville, Indiana, Trail with a Tail, a storybook walk for young children located in the park near the corner of Lincoln and Van Avenue on the 200th anniversary of Indiana statehood, December 11th. This is 2016, so 1816 was when we became a member of the state, of the Union. So, thank you very much. This is Hope Road, and she has a presentation.
We know through the years, it's always the mayor who hands out the key to the city to visitors. We want to turn the tide and give you a key to the Story Trail.
Thank you so much for attending.
Thank you.
Altrusa always closes with a benediction, and our benediction is on the back, and we'd like for you to invite you to join us for that. I also wanted to make sure that everybody knew where the trail was. If you go outside the building here and then you turn back to the right and just circle on around, you'll find there is the city already has up an arrow that says Trail with a Tail, or Storybook Walk, I think is what they call it, Storybook Walk. And you can see the big plaque there that says dedicated to the city, and it's very nice, very legible from the drive. And right now, I think we have 2 podiums up, or 2 of the things up. There will be a total of 17, I believe Sue said. Right now, it's the initial information about the story, how the Storybook Walk came to be, and then I think it has a schedule. The first page of the first book, which I'm not sure we'll have that up before the end of December, depending on the weather. Okay. So, if you have not had a chance to have refreshments, we have refreshments outside here, drink and some cookies. And so we'll go ahead and close with our benediction, and again, it's on the back side. And what we do is we stand and we join hands, and thank you all, one and all, for coming. We appreciate your participation.